The Builder's Wand and the Block Zapper are two very useful items in Hypixel Skyblock. From farms to houses to dupes. If you've ever played Hypixel Skyblock, you've probably used these items at least once. So, in this video, I'm going to be going over a brief history of Builder's Wands and Block Zappers in Hypixel Skyblock, and actually adding my own input as to what could be added to them to make them 10 times more useful. And before this video starts, now, I know this is going to sound annoying, and I really don't want to say it, but could you please subscribe? I checked my YouTube analytics recently on my Rise and Fall of Free Money Hub video, the most popular video on my YouTube channel with 5,000 views and counting. Less than 1% of the people that have watched the video have actually subscribed. It's something like 0.2%. Please, I really don't like doing this. I really don't like doing this, but just please do me a favor. And without further ado, let's get right into it. But before we go into the history of these items, first we must learn what they actually are. The Builder's Wand is a blaze rod-based item that can hold up to 3,456 blocks in its inventory, but it can also use the blocks that are kept in your vanilla inventory. If you have, say, stone bricks in either your Builder's Wand's inventory or your inventory, and you are looking at stone bricks in-game, and then you right-click with the Builder's Wand in your hand, it would, or at least in this example, place one stone brick. But it can also do this with multiple blocks. The Block Zapper is a flint-based item that is actually basically the opposite of the Builder's Wand. When you right-click with it, it will zap up to XXX of the adjacent blocks that you are focusing on in-game when you right-click. After its introduction on October 20th, 2020, the Builder's Wand had surprisingly few bugs. Apart from some other minor bugs, there was one very major dupe, actually, that the Builder's Wand played a role in. This was most infamously known as the backpack stacking dupe. If you were able to stack backpacks or any items that could hold items like personal deleters, personal compactors, Builder's Wands, and then you separated them so that they weren't stacked, Hypixel would recognize them as the same thing. So, if you put an item in one of them, it would appear in the other one. If you took one item out of one of them, it would quite literally regenerate that item, effectively creating an infinite duping machine. And thus, the Builder's Wand was disabled for nearly 1 month, from April 5th, 2021 to June 1st, 2021. Although this dupe technically isn't patched with the Builder's Wand, the admins have made it so that you can only put blocks in there, so now only items that have little to no worth can be duped with Builder's Wands. But the patch for this dupe led to something very interesting. When the admins were transferring the items from the old Builder's Wand systems to the new ones, they made a mistake with stairs. See, stairs are given a certain value when they're placed down that depends on their direction, or rather, it actually dictates which direction they're facing. So, like, a 1 for facing north and up, a 2 for facing south and up, and so on. But when the stairs are in a player's inventory, they're given a different value that doesn't have a specific direction, so that when you place the stairs down, it gains a value facing a direction. When it's in the inventory, it's just stairs in the inventory. There's no specific direction that they're facing until you place it down. Bringing this back to the Builder's Wand, when stairs were transferred from the old Builder's Wands to the new ones, they were given a value that was only supposed to exist in stairs that were placed down. because they were only supposed to exist outside of the inventory, they were given the null name, but they were not given the purple and black checkered null texture that most null blocks get, because they're still stairs. Although I do not know if they will automatically face a certain direction when placed down, because I'm not willing to sacrifice one of my null stairs to trying that. I do know that if you place one down and break it, it will no longer be null. The only other thing that I do not know about null stairs is just how many values there are. And what I mean by that is I have 3 null stone brick stairs, and they each have different values, which mean they're facing in different directions, or they're supposed to be. I do not know if this is with every null stair, or if most of them are facing the same direction, or why they're different values. I can't tell you that. What I can tell you is that you should subscribe. I'm kidding. But please do. After its introduction on February 16th, 2021, once again, the block zapper had many less bugs than what was originally anticipated. Apart from a few minor bugs involving being able to zap crops and get glitched items from that, overall, things were looking pretty good for the block zapper. Thank you, Free Money Hub. Now I have to refresh my island every time I want to use my block zapper. The only other glitches that ever happened with the block zapper so far, and these items are actually still obtainable today, were the no-spread water and the regular water and the no-spread lava and the regular lava. But that's for another video. That pretty much wraps it up for the history of the block zapper and the builder's wand, but now I want to move on to what I think could be added to them to make them monumentally more useful. I'm sure everyone that has built a farm with a block zapper or a builder's wand has come into the problem of like trying to block zap a single row. Like, say you start off by building a flat layer of dirt, and then you want to block zap single rows so that you can put water in there. The problem that you run into is that the block zapper will likely zap more than you want it to, and then you have to go and replace that, and it's a little bit of a petty thing. It's not too hard to do it, but over time, it actually sucks up. Like, it takes a long time to place all those blocks back in after you've tried to block zap one row. Now, what I think would be a very cool feature, and this is for both the builder's wand and the block zapper, is if you could control how many blocks you're building and how many blocks are zapping. So then you could exactly block zap one row and not one row and then some other blocks that you didn't want block zapped. This would particularly come in useful when you are trying to make one layer of dirt or some block under the water source, or where your water would be, so that you can use prisma pumps to quickly pump out the water. Because normally you would have to build every single block, which, like, for a pumpkin farm is 4 blocks down, and it doesn't let you do that because that's too many blocks. It doesn't want you to build that many blocks. But if you could control how many blocks you could zap at a time, you would be able to just block zap or build at a time. You could just build one row down and then one row over, instead of having to build all of these layers under, just so that you can actually have water sources. That pretty much does it for this video. Thank you for watching it all the way through, and if you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments, and I'll do more content like this. And for anyone that's wondering, the reason why I haven't been uploading as much isn't because I've lost motivation or anything like that. I even haven't had time. I've just been, like, making a video and then deciding it wasn't good enough, and sort of like a time deal thing. my time Dio? I don't think so. Last I checked. But like the Regasty co-op thing, I don't know where to go from there. I don't want to make a crappy storyline because I just started making the next one. And I was like, this sucks. Why is he going to the coal mine for no reason? Anyway, I'll try to... I just don't want to pump out bad content, but I will keep uploading for as long as I can.